Hi there, me again. Today we're going to be testing Fuji Superia 400 at night. We're also going to be using a different camera today, the Yashica Minister D. I've been wanting to talk about this camera on the channel for a while now, so if you're interested in it, I'll be going over it as we're out taking photos. So without further ado, let's go shoot. This test started at a Christmas tree farm with me shooting Superia 400 and Ethan shooting Kodak Ultramax 400, so you're going to get a little comparison here.
Any professional is going to know that this is not what you use on a tree.
After figuring out the perfect pose and how to meter the scene, we took a couple shots on Ethan's Nikon N8008, which was loaded with Ultramax. Oh yeah.
Just kind of like head down, like mysterious figure in the void. I don't know. In the tree realm. In the tree realm. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Now it was my turn. I found the perfect tree that had some nice lights hanging over it, and I decided I should add to my collection of gas mask man photos. This time, he was a masked lumberjack. I took a few photos just to be safe. This first shot was an accidental frame, and I actually really like it. I think it adds something to this set of photos. Here's Superia and Ultramax side by side. They have much different color temperatures, and the blacks have a bit of a green tint on Superia.
Do you need to turn the lights off?
Yes. Okay. Give me 1 second.
You take one more shot, and then we'll be out of your way. Thank you very much for letting us do this, by the way. We appreciate it. It should be a fun project.
This was a quick photo I took while out to dinner in the Kansas City area. Just thought the Christmas lights looked cool. Not as much color shift on this one. The next night, Ethan and I were out again to look at more Christmas lights and explore a bit.
Well, there's a person. But we're gonna go look at these cool lights.
5.6 of 1/3 of a second. I think I'm gonna do a half second. Well, no. You know what? I think I'm gonna do a full second, because I never think Superia has enough light. So maybe I'll do a half second one and a full second one.
Okay.
The Yashica Minister D has a fiddly system for adjusting aperture and shutter speed. It made shooting at night a tiny bit slower.
It's nighttime, and people don't like people creep around churches at night. But, so here's the idea, okay? So, your back exposure is the church, right?
Okay.
You do like the face of that statue between the two spires or something. You know how sick that would look?
That'd be
but
pretty
also,
sweet.
somebody probably lives at that house.
They're probably asleep.
It's probably the pastor, or well, a priest. It's a Catholic church, I guess.
We'll just be quiet. Do it.
All right, let's try it.
So Ethan set up his camera and got the first exposure of the church. And then moved across the street to make it a double exposure with the statue. Here's what he got. pretty sick if I do say so myself. I'll leave his Instagram in the description. Gonna do an F8 here. I'm gonna meter for the bush over there. 3 seconds. So I'm gonna do 5 seconds.
5 seconds. Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we found this Jurassic Park looking scene out by the zoo.
I'm pretty sure that a velociraptor's gonna come out and eat us. We thinking the same thing? All right.
Do F4 at, it said 1.5 seconds. So I think I'm gonna do 3 and maybe like 5 just for the hell of it.
Just for the hell of it?
Yeah. I think that's in focus. And first one at 3. 1, 2, 3.
Very nice.
One at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Another angle?
Maybe. I'm gonna lean it against the fence for this one. 3 meter for F8. Okay, we're gonna do one at 5 seconds and one at like 20 seconds.
Okay.
Pretty good. Everybody move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check again because I moved the camera. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright. Who
Get
knows?
it. See what happens.
Who knows?
Let's see.
Sweetness. Hopefully one of those turns out cool. This is a really cool frame. Too bad that light leak ruined the longer exposure. After that shot, I found this tall grass and made these exposures. I really like the motion blur and the stars in these. Here's the rest of the photos from the roll. Okay, so after a few nights of shooting, do I think Superia 400 is the best film for night photography? No, not really. At least not in my opinion. I did like a lot of the photos that I took, however, in this video, and that's pretty surprising because I don't usually like the results I get with Superia 400. So if you're looking for a good, dependable, and predictable film for night photography, I would maybe stray away from this one, just because when I was doing longer exposure times, and not even that long, like 3 seconds or longer, I was getting some strange color shifts. It seemed like the film was leaning more towards the warm tones, which is interesting because you don't really associate warmer tones with Fuji films. And it also looked like a lot of the main light sources in a lot of my images were kind of leaning into purple, which it looked pretty cool, but if you're looking to get a cohesive look, it might be kind of hard to do that because I just really didn't know when that color shift was happening. And if you're trying to make bodies of work and have one cohesive look, this film might make that kind of difficult. Now I will say all of the photos that I took in this video definitely have that film look. And I think that's due to the way Fuji films render reds and greens. I especially noticed it in the blacks and shadows. They kind of had this green tint to them. And it definitely looked really cool. I could see how some people might not like that. They might want a little bit cleaner of an image. But if you're just getting started in film photography and you just want to have some cool analog vibes in your photos, this might be a good film for that. So now let's talk a little bit about the camera I used. This is the Yashica Minister D, and it's a really inexpensive rangefinder, but honestly it's pretty fun to use. It's got a fixed 45mm f2.8 lens. It's got a leaf shutter, so you can sync flash at any shutter speed. It's got shutter speeds up to 1/500th of a second, and it has a built-in light meter, so it's a pretty nice, well-rounded little camera. So this camera does have one little quirk which made night shooting a little bit more difficult, and that's the fact that the shutter speed and aperture are on the same part of the lens. So there's this little EV scale, and basically what happens is you turn this ring, and this ring controls both the shutter speed and aperture, and it makes it kind of difficult to get the right combination of shutter speed and aperture value that you're looking for. But yeah, other than that little quirk, this camera is honestly really, really fun to use, and if you're looking into getting a rangefinder, you'll see that the prices of things like Leicas are ridiculous, and this is honestly a much better, much cheaper alternative that will just get you into the rangefinder world, and you can see if you like it before you buy something really expensive like a Leica. And with that being said, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.